Good morning, dear students of class 11 science. Welcome to biology class. So today we will continue with the same chapter, animal kingdom, and we will begin with the new phylum, that is Chordata. Clear? Okay. So the most important thing is that this phylum Chordata, it was established by Balfour in 1880. Okay, and under this phylum Chordata, we have put around 48,000 living species. Now the most important thing is that what are the special features or the character that must be present in an organism that belongs to the phylum Chordata. Yeah. So what are those important diagnostic features that must be present in an organism so that it must belong to phylum Chordata? So what can be that? Let's think of it. Okay, so what can be those characters that will enable the organisms to be included in the phylum Chordata? So the most important basic features are, first one is the presence of notochord. Okay, the first important feature is the presence of notochord, which is mainly a solid rod-like structure that extends all along the body length of an organism and it supports the body. Okay, so you can see over here these rod-like structures, these particular structures, the rod-like structures which is present all along the body. So this structure is known as notochord and it provides support to the body. Now this notochord may be present throughout the life of an organism, or it may be present only during the embryonic life. And if it is present in an embryonic life only, later on it will be replaced by the vertebral column, the backbone. Clear? So the second important features is the presence of a dorsal hollow nerve cord, which is mainly differentiated into brain and spinal cord. Okay, so the first feature was presence of notochord, and the second important feature is the presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord, and this will differentiate usually into the brain and spinal cord. And the most important feature, or the third feature we can say, is the presence of paired pharyngeal gill slits. So you can see over here the presence of pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, so these are the like these are usually present in their life at a certain period of time only. So these are the most important three features of an organism that must be included under the phylum Chordata. So what are those features? First one, presence of notochord. Second feature, presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord, and third feature is the presence of paired pharyngeal gill slits. Clear? So these are the three important chordate features. Clear? Now let's see the general characteristics of the phylum Chordata. Okay, so first one, they are bilateral symmetrical. You know this meaning. What does bilateral symmetrical means? Okay, so try to recall it back. Then they are triploblastic animals. Now what does triploblastic means? We have got the presence of three embryonic germ layers, right? They are mainly ectoderm, then mesoderm and the endoderm. Okay, so these three embryonic germ layers will give rise to different tissues and different organs in our body during the embryonic stage of development. Number three, they are coelomate. Coelomate means presence of true body cavity or coelom, which is lined by the mesoderm. Okay, and then they have got organ system level of organization. So all the terms we have mainly dealt in the first class of this chapter, so try to recall it back. Okay, digestive system is complete with two openings, if you remember, right? One from where we used to ingest the food particles, and the second opening from where the waste products will be excreted. Next feature, hemoglobin, is the respiratory pigment, and where it is present, right? Where is it present? Mainly in the red blood cells. Okay, then for the respirations, we have got gills or lungs, which act as the respiratory organs, and they possess a post-anal tail, and they have got a closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system means they have got well-developed blood vessels. They have got artery, they have got veins, they have got capillaries. Okay, now look over here, the post-anal tail. Okay, this is also one of the most important chordate feature. Even we human being also used to have the post-anal tail, but in the form of a vestigial organ. Clear? So these are the few features of the phylum Chordata, but do remember the three important chordate features which must be present in an organism. Okay, they are mainly the presence of the rod-like structures called notochord or dorsal hollow knobchord and the paired pharyngeal gill slits. Clear? Okay. Now let's go to the next topic. We'll begin with the classification of phylum Chordata. Okay. So the phylum Chordata has been divided into the three subphylum. Chordata, notochord is present only in the larval tail. Then we have got Cephalochordata, notochord from the head to tail throughout the life it is present. And we have the third subphylum which is Vertebrata, and in Vertebrata the notochord will be replaced by the vertebral column. Okay, then the Vertebrata is further divided into two groups. Now what are those groups? Divided into Agnatha, which like the mouth will be without the jaw. Okay, so A means no. I told you that the word A usually means no. So over here in Agnatha there are no jaw. Okay, then we have got number two group called the Gnathostomata, which bears jaw. Okay, so under Agnatha we have got the class Cyclostomata, where we will find the presence of suctorial mouth. Okay, since the mouth is a suctorial type, so they are mainly the parasites. Okay, we will afterward learn the characteristics of Cyclostomata also. Then Gnathostomata is divided into superclass. Now what are the superclasses? First one is Spices, which bears fin, and number two is Tetrapoda, which bears the limb. Now superclass is further divided into Chondrichthyes, the cartilaginous fishes, and number two is the Osteichthyes, the bony fishes. Then Tetrapoda, which bear the limb, is divided into Amphibia, Reptilia, Apes, and Mammalia. So these are the classification of phylum Chordata. Okay, it's in the page number 4.53, figure number 4.42. So do remember the classification of phylum Chordata. Now we will see the characteristics of the first subphylum one, that is Chordata. Okay, so let's check out the characteristics of the subphylum Chordata, also called Tunicata, because they have got tail rod-like structures. Okay, Euro means tail and Chorda means rod. So what are the special features of these organisms? So they are back-like, they are sessile, means they are not able to move. Okay, and they are degenerated animals. Adult is without knobchord and notochord. That means in adult form we don't find knobchord and we don't find notochord, but mainly in the larval stage. Okay, mainly in the larval stage we will find the presence of knobchord and notochord. You can see over here that knobchord and notochord are present only in the tail of the larval stage. Okay, so only in the larval stage, mainly in the tail region, we will find the presence of notochord and knobchord. But during metamorphosis, when the individuals undergo changes, meta means multi and morpho means form. Okay, so they have got multiple forms. So when the larval stage will change into the adult stage, then that knobchord and notochord from the tail will be lost. Okay, and since the notochord and the knobchord will be lost when they will undergo the changes from the larval stage to the adult phase, this type of metamorphosis is called retrogressive metamorphosis, because the structures which was present in the larval stage has been removed in the adult stage. Next one, the only chordate feature that is present in case of Chordata is the presence of gill clefts. Example is Herdmania, Ascidia, and Salpa. So you can see over here the Ascidia. Okay, so mainly in the adult form we cannot see the presence of knobchord, we cannot see the presence of notochord also. Okay, you can see a substratum because it is sessile, so it is mainly attached to the substratum. Okay, now let's go to the figure number 4.44. Here we can see the larval phase. Can you see over here the larval stage? Okay, so mainly in the larval stage you can see the presence of knobchord, you can see the presence of notochord, but once it undergo metamorphosis, okay, we cannot see the presence of knobchord and notochord. So this type of metamorphosis is called retrogressive metamorphosis. Clear? Okay, now let's go to the next one, Subphylum number 2, Cephalochordata. The word cephalo or cephalic, C-E-P-H-A-L-I-C. The word cephalic means head, and chorda, C-H-O-R-D-A, chorda means rod. So let's see the general characteristic features of the subphylum Cephalochordata. Okay, so what are those features? Now, first characteristics we can see over here. First one is these are fish-like. Okay, they are marine animals. Marine means they used to live in the ocean water, in the salty water. Next thing, they possess all the 3 chordate features throughout the life. Now, what are those 3 chordate features which are present in case of Cephalochordata? Just try to recall what are those features. First one, they have got notochord, which is mainly rod-like structures which mainly extend from the head to the tail regions and mainly provides support to the body. Number 2 feature, just remember, you have got hollow, dorsal hollow tubular, knob cord, and they have got paired pharyngeal gill slits. So these are the 3 important chordate features which are present in the member of the subphylum Cephalochordata. Okay. Number 2, we can say that the tail persists throughout the life and they used to bear a caudal fins, or dorsal and anal fins are also present. So let's see the examples. We have got Amphioxus, which is also called branchiostoma. Okay, let's see the figure. Okay, so we have said that tail persists throughout the life. Okay, and it bears a caudal fin also. So when we look into the structure of Amphioxus or branchiostoma, we will see the presence of hollow dorsal tubular knob cord. We'll see the presence of notochord. Okay, we'll even see the presence of pharyngeal gill clefts. Then we mentioned that the tail is present and the dorsal and anal fin are also present. So we can see the presence of dorsal fin and we can see the presence of anal fin or the tail fin in case of Amphioxus. Clear? Okay. Now let's go to the next subphylum, which is subphylum Vertebrata, or also called the subphylum Craniata. Clear? Now those individuals, listen very carefully, which are under the subphylum Vertebrata, their body is mainly divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. One more time. That means when we look into the organisms which belongs under the subphylum Vertebrata, their body is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. Okay. And when we talk about the segmentations, external means from outside. Okay, external segmentations cannot be seen. Okay, it's not visible. But when we look into the internal structures, we can see some degree of internal segmentation or metamerism. Like mainly in the muscles or in the vertebrae or in the ribs, we can see the presence of internal segmentation in an organism that belongs under the subphylum Vertebrata. Okay. So, the member of the subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord only in their embryonic period. That means only during the embryonic life there will be presence of vertebral column. But during the course of development, listen very carefully, during the course of development, this vertebral column will be replaced by, this notochord will be replaced by the vertebral column in the adult. So that means notochord is present only during the embryonic period. Clear? And once it becomes the adult, this notochord will be replaced by the vertebral column. And beside this, the basic chordate characters, we have got the presence of ventral muscular heart, where we have got 2, 3 or 4 chambers heart. You remember, like we have got 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Clear? So we have got the ventral muscular heart. So it may be 2-chambered heart, it may be 3-chambered heart, or maybe 4-chambered heart. And we have got pair of kidneys which mainly help in excretions and osmoregulations. Then the paired appendages which may be in the form of fin or in the form of limbs. Okay, so these are the other features which are the main chordate characters. Now let's talk about the difference between chordata and non-chordata. So what is the difference between these two, chordates and non-chordates? So first, when we look into the basic features, notochord is present only in chordata but is absent in case of non-chordata. Nervous system in case of chordata is dorsal tubular nerve cord which lies dorsal to the notochord just below the integument. And in case of non-chorda, nerve cord is ventral, solid double and ganglionated. It lies below the alimentary canal just above the integument on the ventral side of the body. Okay. Then number 3 features, when we talk about the pharyngeal gill cleft, that it is present in case of chordates but it is absent in case of non-chordates. Okay. So in chordata, this pharyngeal wall is perforated by pharyngeal clefts in all the chordate in some stages of their life cycles. And heart in case of chordata, it lies ventral to the alimentary canals, but in case of non-chordates, if it is present, it lies dorsal to the alimentary canal. And post-anal tail is present in case of chordate and is absent in case of non-chordate. So kindly go through the difference between chordates and non-chordates also. Now, let's talk about the classifications of the subphylum Vertebrata. So what are the classifications of the subphylum Vertebrata? So it's in the page number 4.56. Kindly copy this one also. So when we look into the subphylum Vertebrata, it is divided into two superclass. Okay, we can say group also. One is Agnatha without the jaw, and number 2 is Gnathostomata which bears the jaw in their mouth. Okay, Agnatha is divided into the class Cyclostomata, and Gnathostomata is divided into two subclasses, we can say Pisces which bears the fin and the tetrapods which bear the limbs. Pisces is further divided into Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, and Tetrapoda is divided into Amphibia, Reptilia, apes and mammals or Mammalia. Okay, so this is the classification of subphylum Vertebrata. So let us just check out the characteristics of the group Agnatha or Gnathostomata, the jawless vertebrates, because Agnatha means without the jaw. Okay, so mouth is without jaw because A means no. Okay, so group Agnatha because they used to have a mouth without the jaw. And notochord persists throughout their life. Paired appendages are present. Skin is soft and slimy without exoskeleton, and this group has only one class, that is Cyclostomata. Okay, and mainly this group Agnatha is represented by lamprey and the hagfish, and these are the first vertebrates. They appeared about 450 Maya. Maya means million years ago. Okay, now let's see the characteristics of the class Cyclostomata, which is the only class under the group Agnatha or the superclass Agnatha. So let's check it out. So first thing is that they are without jaw. Okay, so since jaws are absent in the mouth, so they have a circular mouth with suctorial funnel. Okay, now since they have got a mouth with suctorial funnel, so they are mainly the ectoparasites. Ecto means outsides. Okay, so endo means inside, which are present inside the body, but ecto means outside. So from the outside, they used to feed on the body of other organism or the host. So these Cyclostomata, they have got a mouth, circular mouth with suctorial funnel, and they are the ectoparasite in other fishes. Okay, they have elongated body which bears around 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respirations, and their body is mainly devoid of scales and paired fins. So we don't find the scales and the fins in case of Cyclostomata. Okay, and development is indirect. And when we talk about the indirect development, remember or try to recall back that it includes the larval stage. So what is the name of the larva? The name of the larva is Ammocyte larva. Okay, so that's why the development is indirect. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is closed type. Okay, and heart is two chambered, one auricle and one is ventricle. Okay, and they are marine, but they used to migrate for spawning to the fresh water. Once they mainly reach the fresh water, they used to lay the eggs, and after laying the egg, they will die. Now the egg will hatch. Okay, it will form the larval stage. Now larva, after mainly developing into the adult one, they are going to start migrating towards the marine water. Okay, and again fish spawning, they go to the fresh water, they will lay the egg, again they will die. Okay, that egg will hatch, it form the ammocyte larva, it will mainly start developing, start growing, again it starts migrating to the marine water. So this usually keeps on going and going. Okay, now what are the examples under the class cyclostomata? One is petromyzin, the common name is lamprey, and number 2 is myxin, the common name is hagfish. Let us see the structure of the petromyzin. Okay, we can see over here the mouth one, where we don't find the presence of jaw, we find the suctorial mouth. Okay, we can see buccal funnel. Then we can see the presence of external gill slits with mainly 7 pairs. Okay, so we don't see the presence of those paired fins, or we don't see the presence of those scales in the body of the petromyzin. Clear? Okay, so today we have done only till the group A Echinatha and the class Cyclostomata. In the next class we'll begin with the group B, that is jawed vertebrates or Gnathostomata, and we'll see the different superclasses and the classes under this Gnathostomata. Clear? So this much for today. See you in next class. Thank you.